Hello, welcome to the Rhubarb. Two fat old guys having a good time. Rhubarb is kind of a podcast for the casual, everyday sports fan. You know, you want to go into work and prove the know-it-all guy wrong. We got some good stats for you, some arguments to make. Rhubarb, kind of his old baseball term, where we get into it, with the umpire. So we kind of like the back and forth debate and enjoy that. We'll pick sides. Sometimes we agree with our own side, sometimes we don't, but we like to have fun. Uh, but we want to get into it. Like we said, sportscast kind of for every fan. Hit us up at the Rhubarb Podcast at gmail.com or tweet us at Rhubarb Podcast. You want to run down the kind of what we're thinking about the show today there, Patrick? Oh, sorry. I'm Will. Patrick.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Richardson and his rise back to glory as the Colts starting quarterback, or shall we say?
Fair warning, we are biased towards the Colts and the Cubs. So
yeah, and Pacers a little bit. This guy's an IU guy.
Yep. See this baloney right there?
Somehow we still get along.
Purdue, yeah.
Possibility of Jones out in New York.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
After that big old contract,
$160 million down the drain.
Yeah, we'll come to that. Should the Jets bring back Aaron Rodgers after this disastrous season? And then we'll just kind of finish it up with some bold predictions and do some picks, maybe some fantasy picks.
Yeah,
parlay, something of that sort.
Okay, I thought we kind of after the headlines we'd do something a little silly called "That's Bush League." Bush League being an old term for the farm teams in MLB. The accoutrement wasn't quite the nicest.
Right.
A little on the cheap side of stuff for players and fans. I hope the beers were cheap though.
They still are.
Still are. A good old AAA Indians team here.
That's right.
And Indy, shout those, keeping the beers cheap for us. But all right, we got my Bush League situation for this week, and we are November 14th, week 11 in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Got Thursday Night Football on right now. The Colts' performance this season, and I know I'm a Colts fan, so it may not resonate with other NFL fans, but the Colts are they come out soft, and they pick it up a little bit, and they fall apart. We bench Richardson, put Flacco in, lose 2 more games. Now we're back to Richardson. We had to bench Richardson because he tapped out on 3rd and goal in a division matchup.
For a running play. For a
Texans. Well, it had to be a running play, right? Because Flacco wasn't warm.
Oh, still. It would have been a running play regardless.
So it's just, we just don't have the leadership in place, I don't think. I just don't know what's going on.
There's a lot of
Bush League.
Yes,
there's a lot of Bush League going on.
Bush League. It's the locker room itself is even divided right now. So,
and they're making the rest of the NFL look good.
Yes.
Shoot, even the Bears.
Yeah, barely beat them. We'll see what the Jets do this week, but maybe this is Aaron Rodgers coming out for the Jets.
Oh man. All right, well, kind of on to that. Okay, so that's my Bush League segment.
Wait, another Bush League. Bush League. Following those Colts. Come on, Steichen. Come on. How do you expect people to trust you when you continue to tell us that this is the guy, and then 2 days later, you change it up?
I don't think he knows.
He doesn't know. And I think he's forced into it.
Uh-huh.
But 2 changes in a row. 2 changes in a row. You tell us, oh no, AR's our guy. And then on Wednesday, no, Flacco's in. Then he plays 2 weeks. And you say, no, Flacco's our guy. And then on Wednesday, no, we're bringing AR back. Figure it out or don't. Just don't open your mouth if you don't know.
Transitioning to a bold prediction, how do you think AR finishes the season?
Are we throwing bombs the whole time?
Can we?
Well, because he's not going to complete a short or an immediate pass. He can't read the defense. He can't. I mean, he throws to where players are supposed to be. He doesn't adjust.
He's had 2 weeks to learn.
Now, he also had a year on the bench last year. Remember when he was hurt? Like every other game he's played? Yeah. We'll be back to Flacco soon because I'm sure he'll be hurt.
That's a good point. We're only temporary benching.
We might as well call him Mr. Glass.
Fragile. It's Italian.
He's Italian.
Okay, so AR, your bold prediction is that he does not make.
I still see him even coming back. If we started the stats now, I still don't see him completing 50% of his passes.
Well, that's rough. All right. let's talk about my Hoosiers a little bit.
Who?
10-0, baby.
Yep.
Week off this week. They got to come back against Ohio State. Article I read today, and I apologize, I don't want to steal credit from anybody, but essentially said if they beat Ohio State, they're in the college football playoffs. If they lose, they're out. It stinks.
I don't know. We got a lot of 2-loss teams. I know it's the SEC. The SEC has always been powerhouse in football, but I think if they are competitive with Ohio State and they don't get blown out by Ohio State, they still make a strong case to make the college football playoff.
The CFP committee is what the article said is going to be biased towards a
2-loss SEC team.
Well, just the strength of schedule for IU.
Well, yeah, 103, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's rough. But part of it's not their own doing. The Big Ten is just the bottom half of the Big Ten. You have 4 out of the 5 top 10 teams, or 4 out of the 5 top 5 teams, Big Ten.
Correct.
And the rest of them can't find a win.
No.
So
my guys could barely beat Indiana State. It's the only win they got all season.
Or Purdue. Basketball season's coming, buddy. You'll be all right.
Yeah, until our 7'4" guy gets hurt. Anyway, so that's a different story.
So the articles are coming out about the Hoosiers, and I think this is what we were kind of talking about earlier. Can the Hoosiers keep Cignetti?
Want my bold prediction on this one?
Hit it.
So Cignetti started his career, Nick Saban, down in Alabama, wide receivers coach. First recruiting class that came in, Julio Jones. Cignetti then.
Recruiter.
That's a good start to your career. Him and Saban are still good friends. Saban still speaks highly of him. Saban still has an ear in the boosters, or has a spot in the boosters' ear there in Alabama. Went to James Madison, proved himself. Came to IU, proved himself. I know IU is talking about making themselves long-term success. But if Alabama does not make the playoff, there will be uprising in Alabama.
DeBoer's first year.
Alabama they are bred for it. Ryan Day's got people calling for his head, and he's the number 2 team in the country.
With Ohio State, you're talking about, so
correct.
You think Alabama's going to be the same way?
I think if Alabama doesn't make the playoff,
DeBoer's not even. I don't know what the transfer portal did to Alabama, but DeBoer's not even really playing with his players. He's done okay. I would make the argument
he's still playing with Saban's players.
That's true. He didn't.
He didn't have to do anything
down at all, did he?
No, he didn't have to.
Just a note. DeBoer's a former IU guy.
Maybe they'll flip flop.
Bring back
what I'm saying is, if my bold prediction, if Alabama does not make the playoffs, Cignetti is going there as the head coach. The boosters would love to bring him back. IU does not have, don't get me wrong, I'm an Indiana guy, Purdue, but still Indiana guy. They don't have the tradition and that glamour that Alabama does in college football. That would be a dream job for anybody.
I agree. They did come out today, or the athletic director for IU came out and said we're going to put some money into the stadium, renovate the 62 or 67-year-old stadium. We had some suites. I think you've got to step up Cignetti's contract. I forget what he's making, but
less than $1 million.
No, he's making more than $1 million
with bonuses.
No, but he's got to step it up to $6-8 million.
Yeah,
which is what Day's
he
making.
is currently ranked 15th in the Big Ten in salary.
Yeah. And, if you tie that to maybe, what was it, Kansas that we were talking about or reading?
Where they put it in his contract
that they would upgrade the facilities.
Right.
To make it try more of a powerhouse. And
I get what IU's trying to do, but is it going to be enough to keep him from going to a more illustrious school that's already established?
I hope so.
As a college football powerhouse.
Yeah. I mean,
I hope so too, but
let's face it. I mean, I got to admit this. If the Bama job comes up, you don't turn the Bama job down.
No. Nobody turns the Bama job down.
So your prediction is Cignetti to Bama?
If Bama doesn't make the playoffs.
What's your prediction for Hoosiers finishing out the year?
11-1.
Lose to Ohio State.
Then just steamroll my Boilers.
And then,
but I think it's going to be a close game. with Ohio State.
No playoffs.
35-28 make the playoffs.
Oh, that'd be good. That would be good. Okay, what about let's NFL fans back to the NFL. Here.
So let's talk about some rookie quarterbacks here, shall we? I know the hype coming to the NFL, and everybody tells me, even my friends that are Bears fans, we had to take Caleb Williams. We had to take Caleb Williams. Jayden Daniels was the better quarterback coming out of the draft. Statistically speaking, playing in an SEC school, which is pretty much the minor leagues for the NFL, he was ready to play, and he is proving it.
And yeah, and I say he's the better now too.
He is the better now.
Holy cow!
Not only is he in the conversation, well, let's be honest, he's got Rookie of the Year already, but he's now in the conversation for MVP of the year as a rookie.
That's impressive.
Something's going on
up there with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Already. Well, until last week, you had Jared Goff in there, but that 5 interception night kind of destroyed that for him. But what are the Bears thinking? I mean, you trade up, you get Trubisky. You go, you get Fields. None of this is working out. But then you just keep going with the hype, and everybody's like, oh, we got to have the hype. How about you go with the guy that's already proven himself in a school that's playing tough competition, and he's already showing that he can be the guy? Notre Dame showed exactly what you have to do to Caleb Williams when they played him, and they got pressure on him. And now everybody's seeing it with the Bears. When you get a little pressure on him, he chokes.
Weren't you telling me earlier that Bo Nix is also...
Bo Nix has better statistics than Caleb. If you take...
Okay, let's just make the argument for the NFL fans out there. Does Bo Nix and Jayden Daniels have a better supporting cast around them than Caleb Williams?
You tell me a better wide receiver core than Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen with Cole Kmet as your tight end.
The only thing I can think about is the Texans.
And they're all hurt.
And they are all hurt. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Washington.
What about the O-line? How's the O-line for Bears?
Oh, and that's what everybody complains about. Yeah, the O-line for the Bears is bad. Okay. You tell me any other offensive line in the league that's going to be able to block for 5 to 7 seconds each time.
Oh, yeah.
Caleb
what was
Williams
that stat?
Can't make a decision.
What was that
Jayden
stat?
Daniels is throwing the ball in 2.7 seconds.
On average.
Caleb Williams is at 3.5 or somewhere around there.
So,
I mean, if you look at it, Washington's got Robinson and Eckler out of the backfield, but receiver-wise, all they've got is McLaurin.
Oof.
And he's still putting up numbers that just destroy Williams. If it weren't for the Jacksonville game for Williams, he would have 5 touchdowns on the season and 4 interceptions. He has not thrown a touchdown in the last 3 games.
Oof.
And that's not against necessarily stellar competition. Last week was New England. I don't know. I think the Bears front office needs to take a good hard look in the mirror. Stop listening to their fans and do what's actually good for the organization.
Is that they had to listen to their fans? You think to take for the
so
hype?
Much
maybe the ownership. They needed
Yeah.
the money. I know that ownership group is a little bit
Yeah.
rough. Okay, right now, kind of just going through it. If you're kind of casually listening, we've got Thursday Night Football is going on, but right now we've got the AFC Chiefs number 1, Bills 2, Steelers 3, Texans 4. Playoff would be the Broncos, Bills, Chargers, Steelers, and Ravens, Houston Texans, with the Chiefs having a first round bye. Predictions for that? You think it stays the same? You think it changes up a little bit?
I think at this point in the season, most teams are kind of cruising. They know who they are, where they're going. There might be a few shifts, but I don't think there's going to be anything monstrous.
Steelers are kind of outperforming themselves this year. Right?
Russell Wilson looks more like he did in Seattle than he did in Denver.
Okay.
So I know.
Can the Bills stay in the number 2 spot?
With the addition of Amari Cooper, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They're getting
Texans,
stronger.
can Texans stay at number 4?
Who's gonna compete with them in the South?
Yeah, that's true.
Closest one to them are the Colts.
Jacksonville's a dumpster fire too this year. What happened to them?
Jacksonville. Oh yeah. Texans could probably not win another game the rest of the year and still be in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, on the NFC side, you've got Detroit number 1, Philadelphia 2, Atlanta 3, Arizona Cardinals 4, Packers. I'm sorry, Vikings are 5, and I messed that up on the other side too. Broncos are 7, Chargers are 6, and Ravens are 5. So the matchups are correct, but the ranking wasn't. So back to the NFC, you got the Packers are 7, Commanders are 6, Vikings 5. Vikings Cardinals. That would be an interesting playoff matchup to me. I think that could be. I think Vikings are good this year. I think the Cardinals are seeming to come on strong here in the second half.
Cardinals look really good right now. Darnold's last outing was not good. 3 interceptions. It was not good. Hopefully he's not going back to who he used to be. But tonight's game obviously is for first place of the NFC East, so we could have a flop there with Washington taking the 4 and Eagles.
So that would move the Commanders from 6 to 2 ish. Yeah, maybe. No, 6 to 4, 3.
3. Yeah.
6 to 3.
Yeah.
Well, they would be 2 for a minute, and the Falcons would be right behind them, but they could change that this weekend. So. Yeah, so you have the Commanders, Falcons, which I kind of think the Commanders run through the Falcons in the playoffs.
Yes.
And then the Packers, Eagles. The Eagles, offensively, I don't know. I think they'll be okay against the Packers.
Yeah.
I don't think the Packers' offense is really challenging, so I think the Eagles can win that thing.
There was a lot of hype coming in this season around Jordan Love, and he's been good, but he hasn't been what everybody thought he was going to be. They're still a good team. They're still playing good ball, but he's not MVP caliber this year like everyone was assuming he would step up to be. I don't see them taking the Eagles down.
So, I mean, based on this here, I'll show you this. It pretty much stays the same. You think going for the rest of week 11?
Minus maybe that flip-flop, like I said, with Commanders.
We have 18 weeks this year, right? So there's 17 games.
17 games, 18 weeks. That's correct. Yeah.
I saw the college football championship is like January 20th or something like that. So
yeah.
Late in the
year. Speaking of dumpster fires, I know this wasn't on the agenda, but I just happened to glance down and see it. Come on, Jerry Jones. Come on. Dallas.
Oh, is Dak out, by the way?
Dak's done.
He's done.
Dak's having surgery.
Oh, man.
Cooper Rush, I'm sorry, is not the answer. I don't think Trey Lance is the answer, but this year, do you just try to tank and see if you can get something really good to help? I mean...
So, Jerry has this philosophy, and tell me if I'm wrong, but he waits to the very last minute to put contracts and everything together to get the team together.
Correct.
And it kills them. He gets talent, but they struggle, and they're not a good unit, and then they fall apart. I think, and the NFL's different years, honestly, but I think this year you have some teams that are outperforming expectations because they're performing well as a unit, because they have good people in good spots. They may not have a huge bunch of all-stars in that sense.
Washington,
Vikings come to mind.
Right. Well, I mean, you got Justin Jefferson there. You throw him out in the field, and I think I could throw to him.
You got a good arm. Don't discount yourself.
My arm might go further than the ball at my age.
He'd catch both. So, Anyway, but
you've got to have continuity in the NFL as a team.
and some preparation for the year, and they just don't have that.
Yeah, many holdouts, too many.
CD Lamb was a holdout, I
Yeah.
believe. They didn't bring a running back, and they ended up having to bring Ezekiel in.
And now Dalvin Cook.
And oh wow, so
who's still not doing anything.
So you didn't have a really complete offense.
No.
For most of the year to this point, and so I think you're going to have those struggles, and Jones has got to hire a GM.
And here's my thing. Okay, everybody's asking Jones about why didn't you go get Henry, and Jerry Jones says Henry wouldn't be having the season he's having right now in our style of offense. That's your answer? That's your answer? The guy's having a career year, and he killed it in Tennessee. Derrick Henry is leading the NFL in rushing by like 200 yards.
And I'll be honest, beginning of his career, you wanted Lamar Jackson to be like Dak Prescott. Now you probably want Dak Prescott to be like Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
But it's an interesting comment. I don't agree with it. I think
no.
Maybe they weren't willing to invest the money in the O-line and everything else to get it done.
I don't know, but I mean you're trying to patch a hole that's more of a crater. Dowdle is your starting running back, and you got old Elliott behind him, and I think older Cook, to be honest. It's just.
And back to
Todd Gurley next. We're gonna bring back Marshawn Lynch. I mean, what are we doing here?
Oh, you know what? They have that a commercial with Emmett. Maybe they'll bring him back. I'm sorry, Emmett. I love you.
Nah, he straight says in the commercial he's done.
Don't save Jerry on this one.
Don't hurt yourself.
All right, Chiefs. Chiefs, can the Chiefs stay?
Chiefs. Shout out to my daughter. Go Taylor's boyfriend.
Oh.
Chiefs. And I know everybody talks about how the Chiefs just have this romantic relationship with their referees, and that's how they're winning. I mean, I don't know if it's that. I don't know.
There's a lot of coincidences.
There's a lot. The Chiefs are good. There's no denying that, but
it's all about the ratings, folks.
Yeah. All they got to do is show Taylor a few more times.
They need her in the playoffs.
Right. More power to them. Do what you got to do to win, but I don't. It's just been too close. I don't see them continuing this undefeated streak all the way through the season. There's no way. It's just the games are too close. It just takes too much. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think they surely don't look as good as they did last year.
No.
No. To be honest, I'm very surprised that they're undefeated at this point.
With that being said, they really helped themselves by bringing in DeAndre Hopkins.
They really did too.
He's come in and proved that he should be there, so that's going to help him. It's actually taken pressure off Kelsey. Kelsey's statistics the last few weeks have skyrocketed as well.
Yeah, talk about underperforming season, but I think he's still doing the things he's got to do. He's helping them win, so I can't be a hater on him. But
so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are getting stronger at the right moment.
I'll make it.
I don't know.
I don't really want a Chiefs Super Bowl again.
Oh well.
No choice, huh? They're gonna go.
I don't know. We'll see if the Ravens are tired of getting beat by the Chiefs. I don't think the Bills have what it takes to beat them.
Ugh. Well, okay. So you're listening. I guess we're a little late in the week, so this is a little hard. We got to try to get these out for next week. So we should do maybe picks next week, but we'll try to figure it out timing wise. We're still learning, folks. Stick with us. Or if you're looking to us in the future, you can go check our picks here. I'm gonna do a 5-pick parlay here.
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw it out there. Probably a little on the wild side, but going for it here, and it's already falling apart actually as I was watching Thursday Night Football in front of us.
Yeah.
So I got the Eagles. This is straight money line. The Eagles over the Commanders, Vikings over the Titans, Ravens over the Steelers, Dolphins over the Raiders, and Niners over the Seahawks. So you have a pick or parlay you're willing to share?
Obviously you've got the given of Lions over the Jags. I would actually take the spread on that one. I don't see Goff doing another 5 interception. I see him winning by more than 2 touchdowns. My big upset, not necessarily upset, but I think is going to go down. And I know they're favored, but a lot of people are thinking the Falcons. What I got Broncos money line. I'm not going to give them the 2 points because it might be a 1-point game, but if Bo Nix keeps playing the way he's playing, they've got a good chance. I'm actually going to go ahead and take the Chiefs over the Bills, even though Bills are favored.
Oh, okay.
But like I said,
in Buffalo,
with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins and Kelsey coming on strong, I think Kareem Hunt's actually going to have a bigger game than most people think in Buffalo. And then I'm going to take the Bengals over the Chargers.
Oh, wow.
After last week's performance, even though they lost on that 2-point conversion, their offense is clicking.
I'm getting 4.5 on the Rams. Do you think they can cover the? You said they win by 2 touchdowns, right?
Oh, I said the Lions over the Jags
sorry.
by 2 touchdowns.
Jags. Sorry, I don't know why I thought the Rams.
Yeah, no, I got 4.5 for Rams as well. Rams should cover that.
You think the Rams cover that?
Yeah. Against the Patriots? Yeah.
Oh, quick rundown of just picks, NFL picks this week. If you run through the games, what do you got?
For what? All of them?
Yeah.
I actually had the Commanders going in.
Okay. Okay.
Just because I'm a huge Jayden Daniels fan, if you couldn't tell by earlier in the podcast.
Yeah, you're on the bandwagon, bud.
I was on the bandwagon before the draft.
You were. Well, you were on the Caleb Williams hater wagon.
Man spent more time reading his playbook and less time painting his nails. Maybe he'd be better.
Oh man. All right. So you got the Commanders over the Eagles,
Ravens, Lions, Rams, Saints and Browns is a wash up. Maybe the stadium will collapse.
Who's going to win?
Saints, I guess, just because there's no other options. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to take the Jets over the Colts. Vikings. I actually might take the Raiders on this one.
Raiders over the Vikings, huh?
Raiders over the.
Sorry.
Over Dolphins.
Dolphins. I took the Dolphins. So
as long as Tua doesn't have a CTE scare, they might win, but I don't know. I don't trust.
You're picking the Raiders.
I'm picking the Raiders.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
All right. Packers, there's no doubt. Like I said, Broncos, Niners, Chiefs, Bengals, and then Texans should blow Cowboys out of the water with no quarterback. What do you disagree on, other than the Raiders?
You said Niners, Chiefs, Bengals.
Yeah.
I got. I did pick Philly. What else did I pick? I did pick the Vikings over the Titans.
I hope so.
I thought they did. You picked Ravens. I did pick the Dolphins over the Raiders. But yeah, I think I agree with everything else. I guess I'm hopeful that the Colts will.
Hope in one hand and you know what in the other, and see which one fills up faster. You're bringing AR back with no confidence. The guy can't read the defense. Unless we throw 20 bombs to Alec Pierce, I just think there's too many disgruntled players now. I don't see routes running. I don't even see receivers running crisp routes. Like, they don't expect the ball to be there when
No.
AR's throwing it.
Well, and it's not. It's behind him because he doesn't throw in front of him.
And
whatever,
you can visually see their frustration, especially in AD Mitchell.
Yeah.
I mean, even Pittman is just, he's
Yeah.
frustrated. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't know. I'm not saying Flacco's the answer, but I'm not saying AR is
either.
I mean,
we have no answers here in Indianapolis.
Realistically, let's make AR or Taysom Hill. Then let's go out and get us a quarterback in this draft.
Yeah.
Make him Mr. Everything. The guy's a beast. He's a monster, but he's not a quarterback.
There's no doubt about athleticism, but yeah, we're in year 2, and has he played 8 games? 8 games in 2 years?
Not full.
So, but all right, folks, it's we appreciate it. We're early on in this thing. We're learning. We would appreciate your feedback. Again, hit us up at the Rhubarb Podcast at gmail.com. It should be in the info down below, or tweet us at Rhubarb Podcast on X. We appreciate your time, and you have a good day. Anything to say?
Have a good one.
What do you think?